Okay, so you've got around $50,000 to spend and decided you want a Volvo crossover. They've become pretty stylish, are incredibly safe, and have some cool new engines. The problem is, which Volvo crossover do you choose? That's right, this year there are two Volvo midsize crossovers. One is the XC60, which seems to have been around forever, but this year does include the new Drive-E drivetrains. The other is the V60 Cross Country, which continues Volvo's tradition of taking a wagon, raising it up a couple inches, and butching up the exterior. Now with 7.9 inches of ground clearance, the Cross Country sits much higher than a regular V60 wagon, but it's still not quite as high as the 9.1 inches available in the XC60. Except for height, these two vehicles are nearly identical. Their wheelbase and length are within a fraction of an inch of each other, and their width is less than an inch apart. The XC60 is available with no fewer than 4 engines depending on trim and drivetrain. This includes the new Drive-E family, and the most exciting of which is the one I'm driving here, the T6 front-wheel drive. It's a 2-liter supercharged and turbocharged engine that makes 302 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Basically, the supercharger adds power at lower engine speeds and the turbocharger adds a little more grunt up in the high RPM range. Best of all, it runs on regular gas, not premium. For now, this twin-charge engine only comes in front-wheel drive and is paired to an equally new 8-speed automatic. Strangely, the V60 Cross Country is pigeonholed into only offering one drivetrain combo. It can only come with a 2.5-liter turbocharged 5-cylinder engine that makes 250 horsepower and all-wheel drive. And being the older engine, it still uses the 6-speed automatic transmission. It really is weird that the V60 Cross Country is only available this way, since the regular V60 wagon does have more engine and drivetrain choices. Weighing just over 4,000 pounds, the XC60 is about 400 pounds heavier than the XC Cross Country. But with the extra power, it can still run from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.5 seconds. That's about a half second faster than the V60. Even with more power and more weight, the XC60 actually has higher fuel economy ratings thanks to that Drive-E engine. But during our testing, the two vehicles came out nearly identical, and the V60 actually got slightly better fuel efficiency. Part of this may be due to the XC60 start-stop system. It's terrible. There's such a delay from when you take your foot off the brake to the engine actually refiring. It usually leads to me hammering the throttle trying to get the engine to respond, and then all of a sudden it takes off in a very quick and inefficient way. Thankfully, once the initial lag goes away, there is so much more power and torque in the XC60 all throughout the RPM range. To help stop the more powerful and heavier crossover, the XC60 does have larger front brake rotors. Both of these crossovers come with 18-inch wheels, but only the XC60 can also be had with 20-inch wheels. Both can also tow 3,500 pounds when properly equipped. Overall, the XC60 drives a lot like a crossover, while the Cross Country drives a lot like a car. But that kind of raises the question, if you really want a car, why don't you just get the actual V60 wagon? Officially, the Cross Country has more headroom up front than the XC60, but it doesn't feel like it. The XC60 feels more spacious up here, and the sightlines are better thanks to the lower beltline and the bigger back window. Since both vehicles are modern Volvos, the interiors are very similar. But once again, it feels like I'm driving a crossover sitting behind the wheel of the XC60, whereas the V60 Cross Country feels more like a car. One interesting note for the tech-savvy viewers out there has to do with my iPhone and these Volvos. Neither would accept the USB hookup from my iPhone 5 very well. Sometimes it wouldn't connect at all, and when it did, it would sometimes freeze and crash the infotainment system. Full-size adults fit in the back of either crossover without issue. The V60 does have lower seat cushions, and the only reason headroom works is due to the dugout valley in the roof liner. The XC60 has better overall comfort though, as the seat cushion is at a better height, there's more legroom, and there's a more airy feeling. Now that's due to larger side windows and a panoramic sunroof that isn't offered in the V60. In the back, the V60 Cross Country can hold a lot more gear. With 43.8 cubic feet, that's 13 more cubic feet than the XC60. But the V60 doesn't have the pop-up cargo divider or the underfloor storage of the XC60. And more importantly, there is no power trunk option on the V60 Cross Country. As tested, both vehicles came equipped in the Platinum trim along with the Climate and Bliss packages. This puts both of their prices at just under $50,000, with the V60 holding a $1,000 advantage. Choosing between these two crossovers is like picking between the Swedish meatballs and the 75-cent hot dog at IKEA. Both offer good Swedish value, but which one is the better choice? Well, if it's a crossover you're after, get the proper crossover, the XC60. The V60 Cross Country is good, but it's too much of a compromise between a wagon and a crossover, especially considering Volvo already has one of each. Worse yet, it's very limited in how you can option it. Not only does the XC60 give you more space and features, but it also gives you a lot more choice.